Here we are talking about the KC Wiz again. And honestly, it's a testament to how much the Wiz fans really love this team. Mind you, this is the third straight story we're doing about the Wiz in a season where they didn't even make the playoffs. That is extreme dedication and love for this team, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for it. With that said, today we are going to be talking about Birahim Diop's hat trick against San Jose Earthquakes on the last day of the 2010 season. We talked about KC's hunt for the playoffs in the 2010 season when we discussed their miraculous three goals turnaround to beat Houston to keep themselves in the playoff hunt. Unfortunately, that hunt would end with them not making the playoffs, which was a fate they knew before coming into this final match day, meaning that they would be facing off with San Jose on the last day of the season with nothing to play for. Due to KC having no pressure to get a result, the side saw a lot of new faces included, with the likes of a couple of young guns known as Matt Beasler and Graham Zusi looking to make a name for themselves. Beasler had already become a steady part of this KC team, but was still only in his second season and still had plenty to do to really bolster his name in the league. Zusi, while also being in his second year, had not yet broken into the team like Beasler had, considering he only saw about a combined 1,000 minutes in his first two seasons. San Jose, on the other hand, while already having secured a playoff spot, still had a chance to move up a couple places in the standings on the last day if they were able to win and get a little bit of help elsewhere, meaning they wouldn't have to potentially go up against the juggernaut LA Galaxy side with Beckham and Donovan. This resulted in San Jose playing a pretty strong side with guys like John Bush and Chris Wondolowski included in the starting 11. The game kicks off, and unlike the match against Houston, this game would take a little bit more time to finally get into the action. It wouldn't be until the 36th minute where Diop would grab his first goal after he heads home a goal off a pass from Jonathan Leathers. This scoreline would remain going into the half. Just like last time, 15 minutes into the second half, Diop would score his second, another header past Bush to make it 2-0 in Casey's favor. While there wasn't anything to play for, this is still a good start for the fans in the stands to give them a high note to end on a disappointing season. Well, maybe let's put a quick pause on the high note as legendary striker Wondolowski would find the back of the net after tapping home a volley off a cross from Giovanni. Even though this is a Casey story, I'm going to quickly divert to talk about how this was a meaningful goal for Wando. Going into the last game of the season, Edson Buttle and Wando were tied with 17 goals, with one chance left to separate themselves for the Golden Boot. Buttle didn't end up scoring in his final game against Dallas, meaning that this goal from Wando solidified him as the sole Golden Boot winner for the 2010 season. Okay, now back to KC. While this goal temporarily breathed some life back into San Jose, it wouldn't be long-lived, as in the 76th minute, Diop would complete his hat trick after finishing off a pass from Craig Rocastle to put the Wiz back up by two. Now that we've completed the hat trick, let's talk a little bit about who Birahim Diop is. There's not much known about his time before coming to the US, but he did start his career in Senegal with, ironically enough, US Rail and ASC Jean d'Arc. Somehow, the Metro Stars found him, and he eventually made his move to the US by joining the Metro Stars reserve team until being called up to the first team by then coach Octavio Zambrano. He would only make four appearances for the Metro Stars before moving on to Deportivo Pereira in Colombia, where again he only made four appearances. The following season, he ended up with, and good Lord, this is going to be brutal to pronounce, CS Telegol Tiraspol in the Moldovan League. How did he get there from Colombia, you may ask? Great question. That's because the previously mentioned coach Zambrano with the Metro Stars, the one who gave him the call up to the first team, was now the coach of this Moldovan side. Here he played 20 times, scoring three goals in the league. Afterwards, he comes back to the US, but he was actually playing in the amateur leagues in New York City, where he tore it up, scoring 19 goals in 25 matches, before finally moving to the KC Wiz in 2010, where he would make the most league appearances for a team outside of Senegal, playing 32 times and scoring five league goals, three of which we just talked about. All right, now back to the rest of the game. While KC already had locked up the game and Diop already had his hat trick, the Wiz fans were treated to one last goal on the season as Eduardo, who came on in the 83rd minute for San Jose, would score an own goal to make the game finish 4-1. As mentioned before, while this game didn't have meaning in terms of KC making the playoffs, it was a memorable moment getting to see one of their own score a hat trick in front of the fans to give them something to end the season on a good note. And as mentioned in the last episode, there was plenty of exciting things coming up in the near future for KC fans. So stay tuned, KC fans, for more exciting stories where you'll be winning more significant things in the future.